What's going on, YouTube? It's Sean P from Project Unk. If you like what you've been seeing so far, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment. Let me know what you want to see because we got a whole lot more to come. Sean P back again. I got my crew with me to review the episode 5 of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Crack! What you got for us, brother?
Thanks for having me, Sean P. This is the Crack King from the Crack King Podcast. You can find me on Buzzsprout or Spotify, wherever you get your podcast needs. You can hit me up on Crack King, Instagram.com if you need your cell phone repaired for the low.
Big Mike.
What's going on, Sean? Thanks again for having me.
Good to have you.
Doing great. Got crazy episode this week. Lots to talk about. Excited to be here.
All right, outstanding. Let's go ahead and just hop right on into it. We're going to start with that opening fight scene, which I thought was really dope. I mean, I guess right off the bat, I got to talk about how Sam was able to hang right in that fight with two super soldiers for for all intents and purposes. What do y'all think about how that happened?
Man, yeah, I thought the same thing as I watched it. Good for Sam that he has had practice because, yeah, he's going against two super soldiers. And, everyone's well aware of that. But Bucky knows that. So, he has to pull some weight. But I like that we just went, and we'll talk about this, but definitely this was one of the slower episodes. So it was good that we started off strong right from the ending of the last episode. And it was a long time coming. So we were ready for it, and they went right into it. It was nice. It was nice.
Correct.
I don't know. I wasn't a fan. I love the concept of the fight, but I think Justin Eden could have did better with the actual choreography. I was looking at it.
So he's the fight choreographer?
He was a fight choreographer for Deadpool and Marvel's Daredevil that was on Netflix.
Gotcha.
Which we all know that was dope.
Mm-hmm.
So I know what he could do. We've seen it in other episodes, but I just like I said, I like the concept of it. I like the fact, like Mike say, that Sam was in there getting his thing on, getting his squabble on with him. But I just for some reason, I just kept seeing the stunt man and not Anthony Mackie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wasn't really tripping on the fight. I guess because I was so wrapped up in exactly what they were going to do, how they were going to resolve it. And I did cheat and saw, I guess, a promo, a little clip, and it was only about 10 seconds. And so I knew that they were going to get into some type of conflict. I didn't realize it was going to be right at the beginning of the episode. They were going to start off where they dropped off, where they stopped at the last episode. So, yeah, we mentioned, and this just goes back into into showing exactly how that the Falcon is really deserving of that shield. So we go from them giving the shield to John Walker and how he handled it in that short period of time. And even with the super soldier serum, he wasn't able to really do what he's supposed to do. He wasn't able to show any true character. Sam, throughout this whole thing, has no superpowers at all. He's had to use his wit. He has had to use his brain and whatever equipment that he had on him. How surprised are y'all, or how pleased are y'all with the way that they've handled Sam's character and building him up to show that he is truly worthy of carrying the mantle as Captain America?
Yeah, no, they. I mean, we saw this coming already, and they gave you a little bit each time. We didn't need any more evidence. We don't need any more convincing. This episode, especially later in the episode, is this is Sam's time now. This is what we've all been waiting for. We knew it was gonna come, and it was nice to see the way they did it. But touching on the fight, yeah, I mean, it's same thing. He, even in special circumstances, in tough situations, he doesn't budge. This is he's following right in Steve Rogers' footsteps.
I just playing on what you were just saying, Mike, about Bucky. I did like the fact that Bucky was waiting for Falcon to kind of like say, like give him the okay, because he was trying to talk him down, and Bucky was giving him the chance to do it, and was and
to
that's,
handle things his way.
Yeah, let's try your way. We're gonna talk him down, and true to Falcon's form, and true to his lineage, he wanted to reason, and he wanted to de-escalate shit. Almost like for America. You know what I mean? Let's not fight about this. We can work this out. You just made a mistake. We understand. We understand your friend just got killed. And that's true to Captain Rogers. No one is unredeemable.
And so, in the wake of what happened with him killing the Flag Smasher with the shield, we go into him going to trial for it. Now, I know in the last episode we kind of theorized that they may give him a pass for, because obvious reasons, white privilege or whatever, but they really hammered him. One of the things that I did in the Navy, I worked in personnel, so I did reenlistments and extensions and discharges and stuff, and they gave him other than honorable discharge. So you have honorable discharge, general, then other than honorable, then you have what we call the big chicken dinner, which is the BCD or the bad conduct discharge.
Will they lock you up?
Well, no, it's just that it's a step, just one step above dishonorable discharge, which is, really bad. So my thing is they screwed him over, not screwed him over necessarily, because on your perspective, he's not getting any type of benefits or anything like that. The reason why I'm bringing all of this up is so if we look back at the whole journey of John Walker, and we can find a few character flaws with him. But what I mentioned to Shaky is that from the very beginning, it almost seems like dude had really good intentions, that he wanted to be the best Captain America he can. But I don't think he really understood exactly what he was taking on and whether or not he had the mental fortitude to make that happen. What do y'all think about that? Did y'all have any sympathy for the way that they punished him for this? And I know he was messed up for doing what he did, but I don't
think no, I don't have any sympathy because he didn't go to max prison like Ant-Man, Falcon, and all the rest of them.
Yeah, Hawkeye.
The war.
Yeah.
They didn't send him to max, so I feel like he did get off. But I was like, I laughed because when they said no benefits, it almost like the courtroom was like, oh.
Right.
Excuse me. And then, but, just talking about his journey, I was almost going to redeem him until he lied to, what's the name's?
Lamar's.
Black Star. I call him Black Star. I don't know why I'm calling him that.
No, it is. That's most deaf in Talib Kweli, but yeah, it's all good. It's all good. You a New York cat, so I'll forgive that. Yeah, that's preeminent. So
that's what I was thinking about.
Yeah, when he lied to them and told them the wrong false story, I was like, no, I just can't get with him because I was almost gonna be like, you know what, I understand, but no, you got to tell the truth.
Yeah, he's still trying to redeem his character.
There's no more redeem.
Well, it goes back to the last episode when he asks Hoskins, would you take it? And Hoskins says, yeah, and his logic was, well, no, it only just makes you more of yourself. But if you remember, they talked about how they had to do dirty things in the field, for their country. So yeah, it only made him more of himself. He felt he had to do something dirty, especially because he lost his partner,
So Steve Rogers was not only an exceptional person to become Captain America, he was just an exceptional person, period.
Human being.
He's just a good human being. Now, what I do want to touch on, because I want to move on to something, but one of the most underrated characters on the show that we haven't talked about much of, I think maybe me and Crack talked about it Clack. Talked about it on that the first episode is Torres. Falcon left the wings with him.
Yeah.
We know in the comics he does become Falcon. You think that's where they're gonna take this?
I think so, because he was so fascinated with the wings, you know.
Right.
And
kept asking about him.
He told him he could have them. And you know, Marvel TV is so on obscure Marvel period MCU is so focused on obscure characters, not so popular, that make popular. So why not? You know, why not have some diversity?
Mm-hmm.
Why not have those mantles, Falcon, Captain America, those symbols? Because right now Falcon is a symbol because everybody knows who Falcon is.
Right.
So, you know,
he could barely go anywhere without people pointing out.
He is Falcon. Everybody knows who Falcon is.
Well, yes, by this time, any Avenger is recognizable for sure.
So why not take up that Avengers mantle? So, yeah, I feel like that's going to go. We're going to see him again.
See, this is how I feel about Torres. Is he's been so useful in this show, and we don't see a lot of him. So I'm kind of skeptic of him. The last thing we see is that he gives Sam that ping, the location of the Flag Smashers in New York. So Sam knows that something's about to happen. Right. And it's possible that Torres is one of these many hidden Flag Smashers. Mm-hmm. And he's setting Falcon up because Batroc, the Frenchman, wants him. Mm-hmm. Carly wants him.
Yeah.
Walker wants him.
Yeah.
I mean, people want Sam dead now.
Yeah. You know? When you break it down like that, nobody's really, really concerned about Bucky.
No, they better be.
they better, and it's just kind of crazy. I hope Torres becomes an ally, and that they're setting up with them, leaving the wings with him to maybe come in and actually do a little something and set up that character the same way that they set up War Machine in the universe. All right, so let's move on. I want to get too deep into Torres because I think he's going to play a bigger part. But let me get this name right.
Oh God, here we go.
La Contessa Valentina Allegra de la Fontaine. What the hell do y'all know about her?
Madame Hydra.
I had to look it up. Yeah.
Well,
no, that's fine. Just keep talking. I got you.
Like I said in early episodes, and everybody was kind of like, no, you're crazy. Hydra is still around and still alive. And clearly, with her appearance.
Okay. Is she Madam Hydra in the comics, or is that a name that you're giving her?
She is Madam Hydra in the comics.
Okay, there it is.
She's the leader of the Dark Avengers.
Okay.
Which includes U.S. Agent, ex-Captain America, and a couple of almost anti-heroes. Almost like a Suicide Squad, okay. Because Hydra is different now because of Steve Rogers. But, after that, they do go full on, villainy, and then they're disbanded, and some turn good and some stay evil.
What do you know about them, Big Mike?
Dark Avengers? No, not much, actually. Like y'all, I had to look up Valentina. And there's it's like, how long is this Hydra thing gonna go on? But they've said it before. You cut off one head, then two more grow back. So there's that lingering. Hydra's always behind something. I just hope that it's we can find some rest to it, because if not, it's always going to go. And this is the MCU. We're not going to keep going on the Hydra train. So I hope not. That if this is a remnant of that, then I hope they solve it. Maybe they won't do it in the next and final episode. Again, I think that a lot of this stuff is going to come back up in more movies later on down the road. Or it's done in this next episode. Well, let's really just end Hydra. Can you end Hydra?
And put this
Apparently
to bed.
Well,
just put it to bed, and we can just move on to a lot of other stuff that's happening across this big universe. That
eventually it's like, oh, is it Hydra again? Let's do that. I think the Captain America and the Winter Soldier did a great. They could have ended it there.
But that's Captain America's #1 villain, Hydra and the Red Skull.
Yeah, but since they put Captain America to bed, let's put that.
Let's just put all the motherfuckers to bed.
Well, because they have a lot that they can talk about, so you don't necessarily have to keep going back to that same well. However, like I said, you were telling me, that's just a mainstay of.
They just set you up and then they drop kick you in the back of the head.
After we kind of deal with that situation, we kind of catch up to see what happened with Zemo, and he is at the memorial, and he has his encounter with Bucky, and then of course the Dora Milaje. I didn't expect him to pop out like that, but what I was worried about when the episode started was that Bucky had torn his drawers with Wakanda. And at this point, it looked like they're kind of putting them on timeout a little bit, and they still looked out. We'll get into that in a little bit, but they still looked out for him. Are you kind of sad because they get ready to send our boy Zemo to the raft?
What is
the raft is where
I can't believe that. I can't believe. Go ahead, explain it, but go ahead.
Well, no, tell crack. What
the raft at the end of Civil War. Is that island type prison.
The prison. Okay.
Ant-Man, Falcon, Zemo. I thought Zemo was there.
No,
so
last we saw him, he was with Ross, and he was in the same container that they had Bucky in, and he was like, "Please, fuck up," basically. And then that was the last. And he said, everything that you did, only to see it fail so spectacularly. And he said, "Did it?" You know what I'm saying? And that was the last time.
What's surprising to me is that the Dora Milaje would know where that place is or want to send them. What king is saying this?
What do you mean?
Like, is Black Panther? I know.
No, I think it's a standing order. It's just order. You're a king killer. While they had you locked up, we good, but we keeping tabs on all this. Oh, you out? We finna lock you up again. Now, what I really thought that they was gonna take him back to Wakanda and kill him.
Kill him like Paul.
It kind of contradicts the whole the line. When the Dora Milaje are sent out, they have jurisdiction wherever they find themselves.
Right.
So why didn't no, I didn't think they would take him to Wakanda and kill him. I don't think that that's how they operate, but why the raft? Why that's because that's where Americans and other people outside of Wakanda would send.
The raft is made to lock up superpowered people. In the comics, this is where you sit. If you are enhanced or mutant, we're gonna send you to the raft. This is in the middle of the freaking ocean. It's underwater. It rises, and you know what I'm saying. And so that's since they consider him a real threat. So it's kind of like a compliment. Like people should send. We should send people to Alcatraz. And I think that's it's the same thing with that. I just thought that they themselves would want to be the ones to administer the justice, and the fact that they're going to turn them over. I thought that was really cool. So let's get some of the good shit. We got to address Isaiah Bradley, and Sam coming back, Elijah recognizing him, and he just, kind of let him back there. Sam hesitated at the street. He had so much reverence for this guy that he was even nervous to go back there and talk to him. The conversation that they had was really profound, and I honestly got a little, not emotional, but I got emotional just listening to it. What, Big Mike, tell me what you thought about that.
Sam needed that. Sam needed that, and you know that you see him later in the episode that Sam did not rely on any one instance, experience, advice. He ultimately said, "This is what I'm going to do," based on all these different components. But it really gave meaning to the whole idea that Steve gave him the shield.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe there was a kind of a mention in there. I don't remember, but I can't. I don't know these things. Like maybe you crack nose. I don't know. It's I know that Sam admired Steve.
Right.
Sam looked at things the way Steve did. And so when he got that shield, I can imagine that it was an honor and a privilege. But at the back of his mind, it was like, how am I going to be Captain America? I'm black.
Right.
And
so you think that was always an issue with Sam?
Yes, but you can obviously tell that this wasn't something he walked around and complained about, or he felt he need. Sam is just as honorable as a man as Steve is, and if anything, he got a lot of that from Steve. And so Isaiah Bradley, I think humbled Sam to a point, and Sam used that to help him. And Isaiah said, well, he's at an age now and he's still on that train. You're not going to change his mind. And rightfully so, because 30 years of being experimented on and in prison, and not necessarily because he was black, but because he was different. Survived the serum.
Mm-hmm.
But being black, he's gonna have those sour feelings, and I don't think Sam thought, well, you're wrong. Well, he tried to tell him, look, these are different times. We can do something about this. But ultimately, he let that be. But he's going to continue that fight now that we see that. And so it's kind of like we're gonna honor him, but Isaiah is old and he wants to stay dead. And
And he almost planted a little bit of doubt. Well, not almost. He did plant some doubt in Sam's mind about whether or not America would even accept him as being Captain
That was the
America.
whole episode. We didn't know where Sam would fall. What advice he was taking more to heart than versus others, or
he took Isaiah's advice really to heart enough that it actually affected him. But I think he looked at it as he may. I understand what you went through, but let me see if I can make this work. Correct. Talk to me.
Man, that whole conversation.
Emotional.
But what I'm saying is it highlighted, and I want to shout out to the Disney writers, Marcus Spellman and whoever helps him out. It showed the real split in the black community.
Mm-hmm.
How one side feels about America and how the other side feels about America. And when he dropped that line, no upstanding black, no right, no
self-respecting,
respectable black person would even attempt to be Captain America. I kind of got thrown back, because then it was almost like, in my eyes, this is the Crack King speaking, it almost made him seem like he was like a sellout for wanting to be or being Captain America, and that's what threw the doubt to me.
Yeah, I got that myself.
And like I say, that harkens back to the Black community, how we're split on that, and how, we sometimes, me and Sean P had the last in-depth conversation. I felt like it was the same conversation. It was almost like a question of blackness. Like,
right.
If you become Captain America, are you really Black? Because my views and my experiences is not that. It's like my Black experience and the people that are with me, where he lives, his nephews, his family, because he started talking about the experience his girlfriend went through and what happened with her, and how they, and his experience. Like, why would you even want to be a part of this? Why would you even want to pick up that symbol? And I commend Anthony Mackie, because through the whole episode, even when he was cleaning the blood off of the shield, he had this look like, this is not what it is. It was just, it sent chills to my spine. But like I say, it's bringing up questions. What do we need to do in the Black community to actually come together and not have this separatism because of, we might have this different views or different experiences.
Right.
We're all still Black people, and there's still a struggle. No matter what experiences we go through, we just got to stand up for what's right. And
I think sometimes it's easy to. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Crack.
No. Go ahead.
I say sometimes it's easy for Black people, and even Black people that aren't. Black people that aren't. It's easy for Black people and people that aren't Black to look at Black people as having to be this one thing, this monolith. That this is we're inside this box, right? And this is the way we're supposed to behave. These are the things that we're supposed to accept. And then we can't look at it like that, because we end up boxing ourselves in. So with Isaiah's thinking, I agree with it 100%. But sometimes what a person goes through themselves is going to affect the advice that they might give the next generation or to the next person, because they're putting their personal. You understand what I'm saying? They're putting their personal into it. And so, but the reason why it's detrimental with Black people, it's so few of us, but also every move we make that's major is impactful on the entire
global scale.
Yeah. So it's whatever one of us do, we take that shit personal. If you do it, like we watched.
It's because because we are the minority. It's only 13% in America,
right?
Black or Negro.
Right.
That's why. So when we do, because just imagine you're looking down at a group of ants and they shoot you in the head. I know that's a bad metaphor, but
but still,
shooting you. Right. That's why it's like, holy shit, that dude got shot by an ant. Everybody's looking. You know what I mean?
I got it.
Destroy the pile.
That's the only way I could put it together,
So on that same vein, on a slightly lighter note, but still significant, Bucky got the jungle fever.
I thought that same thing.
If you remember in the first Avenger, Bucky was the ladies' man.
He was.
So I'm glad to see Bucky getting back to his true form and his true good self. Because in the first Avenger, he was a good man.
Yeah. She was flirting back. Sarah was flirting like a mug. You know how chicks, they'll say something, they do the.
Well, remember, at this point, everyone knows who these guys are. So right. My thinking was like, oh, that guy has some super strength. He has a dark past. He got the Wakanda arm.
Good looking man though.
It is what it is. All right, so let's keep it moving. Sharon Carter. Now, they on the shoulder briefly, and I'll echo something that
She's the
Crack.
stockbroker.
What is she up to?
I don't know, bro.
Freaking me out, man.
She's the stockbroker. The power
I,
broker.
stockbroker. Hey, I'm not gonna. Dude, I'm about 70% convinced that she is.
And she called Backrock the punk flipper. What was his name? Backrock. What was his
Backrock the leaper.
Batroc. It's Batroc. Yeah.
Say it again.
The leaper.
Batroc.
I could be saying it wrong.
No,
I'm just talking crap.
The way you say it sound better. So
Batroc.
Batroc the leaper.
Okay, the leaper. All right. There we go.
So yeah, I have no idea what's going on with Sharon, man. I'm starting to think she is the power broker, but it's too obvious at this point now because I think we're thinking about it so hard, and I didn't learn my lesson from WandaVision. But I think we're thinking about it so hard that it's a misdirect that she may not be the power broker, but she is definitely up to something, and I have no idea what it is.
She maybe
I can't. That would be too obvious, right? Because now we're all like, dude, she has to be the power broker,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're all over the place now.
Yeah,
I think it's obvious that she's the power broker.
So you going with it?
I'm going with it, but the big question is, what made Sharon Carter become the power broker?
Yeah, she felt discarded.
Yeah, but it got to go deeper than that.
It's got to because it's
got to go deeper.
Like
and
we said,
remember, she was again. I think we mentioned it last episode that she was in Madripoor for some time.
She never.
It's not like she just got there, and because I mean, look at the setup. Like
I'm gonna say she's all set up.
The atmosphere. She has her own setup. She's respected. She has well, that's a whole different thing. Is the satellite stuff? She mentioned that she still has some tools left over from her time with SHIELD.
Right.
Carly has that same technology. So what's?
Yeah, but would she
what
be
is
helping?
She really using? Whoa. Is it SHIELD or
Sword?
In this episode, you see Carly's phone. It's the same technology that Sharon's using.
We established that John Walker is a liar, right? Yes. During the interaction with Lamar's family and him, his sister was looking at him kind of crazy. Do you have any idea what that's about?
I saw that. They didn't go too much in depth with that.
They didn't even hold the funny look too long either. It's just like.
But you know, a sister no bullshit when she smell it.
Yeah. So maybe it's not going to go anywhere. She's just not really feeling it. That's why I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time on it because I just wanted to mention that way if something big happened, we'd be like, hey, yeah.
What Lamar might have said in conversation to his parents about war and this and that might be a lot different than what he might have talked to his sister about.
Right, and she's surprised.
To his sister, he might have that might have been more of a confidant to him as far as the dark parts of fighting in the war, and same idea that I talked about earlier is that Lamar might have talked to his sister and said, we had to do some shit we didn't want to do.
Well, she's seen the video footage of the man saying, "I didn't do it. I didn't do it."
Plus everyone had seen that already.
I didn't even think about it.
Dad hasn't seen it on social media. That's what I think. I think she's seen the shit on social media and mom and dad just didn't.
He's like, this dude is full of shit.
Like you said, Shawnee, they didn't go. It was a quick glance, but they
didn't linger on it
like
too long.
Saw that, like, hey, she was skeptical.
So I want to get into the little, I guess the counseling that Sam gave Bucky while they played catch with their goddamn shield. Now, I said before, there's some skill involved in learning how to use that shield, but because it's vibranium, it's going to do shit that, like Spider-Man said, that thing doesn't obey the laws of physics at all. But dude, it looks so fun. You know, throwing that shield around and learning how to work with it is almost the same as when I was younger and I would watch the lightsabers. It's a weapon or it's something I would really want in real life. But anyway, so with them showing the montage or just the back and forth with Bucky, with Sam and Bucky throwing the shield around.
Was that not a Rocky moment or what?
Well,
like I was like, man.
I think the montage
get out there and just start.
With trash. They had like 4 of them, and they were all trash.
The montage.
Yeah, I just didn't like the montages.
I could have done without the montage, but when they,
yeah, I got hyped up. I wanted to go work out after that.
But you know,
I mean, I was hyped for the stunt man because that's all we've seen.
We grew up in the 80s, and all of our movies had some type of montage.
Yeah.
But the main part that I really loved about that, not the montage itself, but so Sam would say something, throw the shield.
Yeah.
Buck will respond, say something, throw the shield.
Like they were playing frisbee.
Yeah, they play, or a catch. Yeah. And it was just, it was the bonding. I fucking love these dudes together. I did not see that chemistry coming. They would set it up real subtly on Civil War, and it's just dope, man. I really like it.
It's like they have the chemistry from the comic books that Bucky and Steve Rogers had.
Okay.
Because Bucky was always Steve Rogers' sidekick.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they took that chemistry and put it with Falcon to say, hey, he is our Captain America, no matter what you think.
Yeah, I think it works, man.
Oh yeah, it does, most definitely. I like the fact that in that conversation, it was more like I'm speaking on Sam's part. It's not my job to teach a white person or people not to be racist.
Right.
I just have to lead by example, and I feel like as Black people, this is my opinion, we get caught up in that trying to have these conversations with the racists and say, hey, don't be this way. This is how you should be. And it's not going to happen because how we have systemic things, they have systemic things they've been taught or that's in their DNA.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the fact that Falcon and Bucky, as far as Bucky, just realizing that, this is how I took it, that he did, Captain America did know what he was doing. That in this time, in this day and age, we need a Captain America that's diverse or a symbolism of what?
One that reflects you.
Everybody, yes. And like Mike say, you have these conversations, you got to have these conversations. But I feel like you have them, but you just can't teach it. You can't make somebody not a racist. You just can't do it. Right. And as far as Bucky, they said they were from the 50s and the 40s. They were fighting for a bigger picture, I feel like they thought.
Right, and they didn't even notice the things that were going on was right beneath their nose because they're looking on like you said, a bigger scale.
Yeah, they're looking on a bigger scale. They wasn't looking at what was going because they were in New York, and New York is a diverse. It's the North. It's like
a melting pot.
At the time, the North was a little bit more lenient upon certain things like that.
It's a liberal state. Everybody
historically, yeah.
So, but they were looking at a bigger scale. They were looking at a world scale and not the small scale. Well, it's not small, but the American struggle of the Negro at the time.
And then they missed out on everything that followed that because either they were frozen or they were frozen and unfrozen and doing missions. It's just that wasn't on their radar.
To listen to the Trouble Man album.
Wow. That's a name.
Nice.
I see you.
Next episode.
I went to shits tonight, man.
You said you was. All right. So look, Yeah, I do want to talk about towards the end of the episode. Well, the end of the episode.
Suit up, Sam.
There and huh? What'd you say?
I said, suit up, Uncle Sam.
So here we go. Let's get into it. Now, they're getting ready to do a vote to get these illegal aliens out of.
Yeah.
But just like what they have going on right now,
Yes.
you have people like, man, we can't just pack these people up and send them off or whatever. And you have in Central Park, well, I would assume it's Central Park. I don't know what it is. And you have Carly and one of the other flag smashers. She does this whistle, and people stand up. What I'm asking are those people who have caught on to that movement, or is there some type of signal, or are they controlling them some way with the whistle, or is that was just a signal, hey, it's time to go? Did they all decide to meet up there? Are they that advanced?
No, I thought about that. They didn't go to, because I thought, well, how, you look at the previous 4 episodes, and it's like, they have a great following and some kind of structure. Right. And it's like, Carly must be very smart, because
she is.
If she wanted to just push the button and bring the full forces in all over the world, she could have at any time. And it's like, now is the time. And it's one of those things, and this is where you got to have that disconnect where we can't think too much into it. She's obviously very smart, because she was biding her time, and now is the time to bring in the full forces. How she has so many people around the world and this and that, you can't, that's something we can't even worry about. It's just, it's going to happen. But, mostly for this episode, that signified, and I think I sent this to you, Sean, is this episode, it was very poetic in the way that they settled a lot of things. Ultimately, this is how we bring in a black Captain America. Deal with it.
It's symbolic of the minority coming together and fighting the power, like Public Enemy say.
Yeah.
Because these are the people that blipped.
Right.
And they're in, some of the people from different, they re-blipped in America.
So crack. So they said that the Russo brothers said that anybody that blipped would return in the place that they were safely.
Yeah.
But I didn't even think about that. So it's not so much that people are looking and being inspired, not just that people are looking and being inspired, but a lot of these people that have joined the movement are people that came back from the blip,
I think,
or been affected or displaced by people that came back from the blip. It all has something to do with that.
With the blip, yes, with Thanos' snap. As we've been talking about in other episodes and watching these other episodes, that's directly what her cause is about.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she lost her heart, and her real true motivation for doing what she's doing. And sometimes we all get lost in that and driven and lose ourselves trying to fight the bigger fight.
So let's discuss what the heck y'all think is in that box. Crack!
I think it's a fucking high-tech American fucking Wakandan mashup fucking suit that's gonna equal the playing field for him, where he can fight superhumans.
No, you're right. Yes, no, it's obvious what's in the box.
Yeah.
me, it's obvious.
You think it got wings to it? I hope
that's what I'm hoping.
So okay, so here's where that messes where you have to really think back is what was it? Bucky gave Sam that box before they had their final talk where they really kind of understood each other. Sam understands why Bucky felt the way he felt about the shield. Mm-hmm. Now, there was never any talk about Bucky ever taking the shield. We know why.
He can't.
He can't. And for good reason. And Sam felt the same way, but for the worst reason. And it again, it reflects on society today. But again, and then like you look at like you said earlier, Bucky has the jungle fever. Okay, so it's apparent there's that Bucky doesn't have any kind of racist bone in his body.
He just doesn't know that he's, like I said before, he's
naive.
naive.
Understand Sam.
That's why he apologized.
And why he made the decisions. He didn't understand how Sam felt, and this was a good chance for us to understand how society for us is today. Despite the fact that Bucky is not racist, he still didn't understand Sam. So that's where that conversation came into play. And two, Bucky knew from the get-go that if anyone had that shield after Steve, it was gonna be Sam. And he didn't hesitate, and that's why I also respect Bucky, because he's right up there on that page with Sam and Steve. And it was that ultimately, when the time comes, Sam is gonna hold up that mantle. And when he asked the Wakandans for the favor to get that box, he knew that Sam had the shield. So ultimately, Sam is going to, and I hope it's not in the beginning of the episode. I hope it's in the very last bit of episode 6 where he emerges and he is going to have the Captain America Falcon get up.
Towards the end, when him and Bucky were, having that moment, that true to Falcon's character, like we're saying, he still had to counsel him, and tell him, hey, those names you're not doing, let them forgive you. I don't like to misquote it, but he said he was just exacting revenge or trying to right it instead of. He
was an avenger instead of like you said, trying to.
What was it?
Well, the point of the point of what I'm saying is from the Winter Soldier, we know that Sam is a counselor, you know, and he just showed it, and if you know anything about counselors are all about trying to help you, and they do have a different mind state. And that's what makes him Captain America, but his own Captain America.
Right, he's not a remake.
Black Captain America, because that brings back to him and Isaiah about what's black. And that's the main questions we always have in the black community, but him being his own Captain America, or what he feels a Captain America should be in this day and age.
Right. And he can just pave his own way instead of trying to copy something that's.
And we see that the evolution, that he's not in Steve Rogers' shadow anymore.
He's his own
person.
Right.
And he's gonna fight, and he's gonna do what he wants to do his own way.
So the last thing I want to touch on, of course, is we finally got a mid-credit scene, and it's John Walker constructing his own shield. Now, I thought it was I thought it was cool.
I was laughing.
But it's not a vibranium shield.
Yes.
So I mean, all it is it's a shield. But what I did see, and this is why I have this weird empathy for John Walker. He got a Medal of Honor. He took that bitch off, stuck on his shield. He's very complex. No big deal. You ain't got no vibranium in it, but I think for him it's like Linus with his blanket. That shield means something to him, and if I can't have the one that Steve Rogers had, I'm gonna make my own and become my own person. How did y'all feel about that, and were y'all excited to see him constructing his own shield?
Yeah, same thought is like you I'm a welder actually, so I was kind of like, oh, I see what he's doing, and yeah, but I'm thinking like, dude, you're well, now that I think about it, he's going crazy.
Yeah.
What and now you're right. It's this blanket. Yeah, I mean, shit, you hit it right on the head. He just if he's gonna go out, even if he's ready to die to go out for whatever it is he thinks he's thinking, he wants that symbol, that shield, and but I mean, yeah, vibranium. What are you gonna do without that?
And what you say, Kadak?
I said that. I didn't see the scene from when y'all explained it to me because I didn't even know there was going to be a mid-credit scene.
I expected it.
I didn't expect it because they hadn't been doing it. So
go back and check it out. It ain't nothing to see really, but
yeah,
he's you know,
it's just closing his villain box. I think with the MCU, they're not going to always go with what we think or the comics is going to go. I think he is going to be a major villain, and I think he's going to be like Captain Hydra. In some other.
God damn it! If you don't stop bringing up Hydra,
man. I mean, it could be because at first when I seen her and I heard the name, I said, "Oh, Madame Hydra." But then when I seen her hair was purple,
right.
I was like, "Oh, they bringing the witches back because they got the threes with Agatha." So I don't know. I don't know if Hydra's back. I don't know if that's Agatha's disciple. I just did. It was weird to see that blue hair and harkening back from the. WandaVision. But I just think it's just the juice got him crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If he was
that's a big part of it.
If he was going to be redeemed, he would have told their parent, his friend's parents, the truth. He would have went to prison, to the raft. So now he's working with Hydra. He wants to kill. I feel like in the MCU, if you want to kill somebody, you're a villain.
Sorry. So before we wrap it up, do we have any parting comments? You want to say anything that you might be thinking is going to happen leading up to this? Not leading up to, but coming into the season finale next week.
Yeah, I think that this episode, again, generally speaking, yeah, this was a filler episode. This season was
a setup episode.
We know it was yes, not even a filler, a setup, and we needed it. It was the longest episode so far, and exactly 1 hour.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. If you look, it's exactly 1 hour. Plus the recap and all that, and the end credits, but whatever. We know it's a six episode series.
Yep.
And then watching it, they just did so much, and this episode just left me at the end of this episode, and I went through my day and I started thinking about it. It was a tearjerker because it really, you look back at the beginning of the MCU and it was never, highly publicized, but there's always this little arguments like, why don't they make Captain America black? Or why don't they make Tony Stark black? Or why don't we switch all this up and bring more diversity and this and that? And that's a whole separate argument. But the point is are we ready for a black Captain America? And this episode, I think, solidified that.
What do you expect from this episode coming up?
With the MCU, I don't expect anything. I expect a new suit. Expounding on what Mike was saying, I feel like this is just the Crack King speaking. That's where the diversity and the because I really didn't like this episode that much. That's where it fell, because it almost made it seem like we do have to prove ourselves and prove it to ourselves that we can be great when you don't, if you're already great.
But isn't that a good thing as far as the show is concerned, that they're showing that we feel like we have to do that?
I don't think so. I feel like it splits, because some people feel like, why do we have to prove that we can be Captain America?
Mm-hmm.
The proof is in the pudding.
Right. Yeah.
So,
but I'm saying it's a reflection of
what's going on now. Yeah, clearly it's a reflection of what's going on. They made a point of it, because when this series was supposed to drop, it was supposed to drop last summer when all of this George Floyd and all of these protests was going on. Now it's just like poignant. It's like, damn, we just went through this. We just seen this. Let's talk about it now. We're at the point where we're talking about.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad it came out now instead of in the midst of all that.
Then. Yeah. It'd have been way more deeper. It'd have been way more intense. But now it's bringing up conversations, because now we can conversate about it, about a Black experience and a white experience and a Latino experience in America. And how, no matter what, we should all be Americans and fight against the evil plight, whatever it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
I got you. All right, y'all. So this has been a review and discussion. I got the crew of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Also, forgot to say this. I want to say happy birthday, Selena. Today she would have been 50 years old. I love me.
Bitty bong bong.
I love that woman.
Hey, Mike, I see you.
I on my social media, there are parties going on right now. Hey, man, it's crazy.
All right, then. So that's the end of the episode. We're going to return next week, and we're going to see what we can do a little bit different to try to make it special for the season finale. If I can get the crew, at least most of them, into the studio and have us all in here, and we're just going to have a good time. If you're a sipper, you can bring. We can do the. You want to do the green screen? You don't want Bob and Pac?
I do want a Bob
in the back.
I do.
Fuck it, we'll play with the green screen too, though.
No.
Nah?
Yes, I can't make it. But
Gotcha. So, and that's what we're gonna do. So we need y'all to tune back in, and that's about it. It has been Sean P.
This is the Crack King from the Crack King Podcast. Check me out on Buzzsprout or Spotify, and I'm glad to be here. And I was okay about the episode, but the series as a whole, I fucking loved it.
Big Mike.
Mike check in the house. Sean, again, thanks for having me. This is my passion. I love the MCU. Love comics. Love what you're doing. Love this platform. I love to get to be able to talk about it. So again, yeah, thanks for having me. Man, I'm gonna. This whole week is gonna bother me because we got to get to this last episode.
Well,
so it's gonna be awesome.
Now, the only, I guess, huh?
You gonna be sad when it's over?
I am.
No, because they're gonna leave a lot open.
Yeah.
And what's next? We got Loki.
Loki.
Yeah,
Loki's
but this
coming up.
This has been one of the best
Black
TV shows
Widow's
I've
coming
ever
out.
seen. Not the best TV shows I've ever seen. This has been one of the most enjoyable TV shows I've ever seen. It's so poignant, man. It's really dope. So that's it. We'll see you guys next week, and we want to thank you for tuning in. Take care of each other, and peace out.